So, yeah, I guess we'll kick it off. I don't know how many more people will join. I did share in the Sentinel Telegram and the Secret Network Telegram. Looks like we got a couple people here, mostly faces I recognize from the Secret Network community that are eager to learn about Sentinel Network and what you guys are doing. So, why don't we just start off and you guys can give a brief introduction to who you are personally and kind of how you got into the crypto space.
Yeah, no, thanks, Brendan. Appreciate you having us on. We met kind of relatively early on in my crypto journey. I was serving in the United States Peace Corps in Costa Rica, and there are times that we were really busy on projects and like getting a lot of awesome work done. And then there were times where and we were kind of made aware of this, but there are times where like people are going to blow you off or like shit's just not going to go the way you want. And so we knew we'd have a lot of downtime. And so during that time, I kind of planned to like have like extra side projects and side hustles. I started learning about personal finance, and I've always been someone that's like an early adopter of tech, and started trading more equities and learning about the markets. And then from there, I kind of learned more about crypto, and then I realized the full potential of blockchain. And this was like late 2016, early 2017. And then basically from like pretty much May on, while I was still in the Peace Corps, I was kind of working behind the scenes on crypto projects. And yeah, since then I've worked on quite a few different crypto projects. I worked for Block Party that did ticketing on the blockchain. I did marketing communications for a few different projects, Salt Lending and Metal Pay and a few others. And then I ended up doing my MBA, and that's where I met Peter.
Yeah, I'll just give a brief background on myself. So yeah, thanks again for having us today. So I lead operations at Exidio. I have over 12 years of experience leading diverse teams across, I'd say, a range of diverse and very different companies and industries. Most recently, I worked for a $70 billion asset manager in the US, launching new investment strategies. Left that company in 2019, and I did a one-year MBA program at Babson with Dan. And that's really where I found out about Exidio, Sentinel, and just crypto in general. I have more of the traditional background in small business, corporations, Fortune 500 companies, but crypto is completely new to me. So I joined Exidio in August, September of last year, so of 2020. So I took a nice summer off after the MBA program. Enjoyed COVID as much as someone could, and then just jumped right into this new tech and been leading operations for the team since then.
Very cool. I think I'd need a little time off after a 1-year MBA program as well. It sounds like that's a lot of learning jam-packed into a short amount of time.
Yeah, definitely is. I think normally if you do full-time MBA programs, I think they're like 2 years. So Babson just condensed it down to 1 year. I remember the summer that, May to August of 2019, I basically had no life. I was at school from like 7 a.m. to like 9 p.m. if I was lucky. But to each their own. Some people maybe slacked off a little bit more than others, but I know Dan was there just as long as I was for those long days. So, but it was fun. We met so many different people. There was 40 people in our cohort. We had, I don't know, how many different languages, Dan? Were there like 20 different languages spoken across our MBA program? I think so.
Yeah, no, they really threw us through the ringer. Babson's a school that's really known for a big international cohort. So most people do the traditional 2-year program at Babson, but then there's a smaller group of us that did the 1-year program. And yeah, it was 12 months of just full on sprint. But it was really cool. And so I was kind of like the blockchain guy, like they called me Bitcoin Dan. So I was the token crypto guy in the community. And I've dragged Peter into our dirty, twisted world, and now he's sifting through Telegram channels now, and now he's on Discord, and we're throwing him through the ringer. He's now he's in a bunch of WeChat groups with us, with all of our Chinese community. So it's been an exciting journey. I'll give a quick background. So Peter was talking about Exidio, and so I'm the CEO of Exidio. Exidio is the software development arm building on Sentinel. And for you guys, it's probably a lot easier to understand because it's kind of a lot like Enigma, right? So we're kind of the Enigma to the secret network, and then Sentinel itself is the peer-to-peer network. And Sentinel is really just a peer-to-peer network, people sharing a scarce computer resource, but it's bandwidth. So everyone's offering their bandwidth to the network, and then anyone that wants to route their traffic through different IP addresses of people that are offering bandwidth can do it via different decentralized VPN applications. So we're kind of our one-liner is decentralized VPN or like incentivized Tor network, and that's for Sentinel. And then Exidio, we're the company that will help any project or any individual that wants to start their own VPN company and wants to build it, leveraging the Sentinel network. They can leverage Exidio to do the building. And then Exidio, we also are building different tooling on the Cosmos SDK.
Very cool. Yeah, I think that's a good overview. I think many of us in the crypto space probably are familiar with VPNs, accessing various geo-blocked websites based on, where we live and what tokens we're trying to access and things like that. Let me ask you this, though. I think I'm sure you get this question a lot, and I've probably heard you, answer this question, but what is the difference between Sentinel and a decentralized VPN versus, a Nord Vpn or one of these centralized companies? And, what makes you guys stand out and what excites you about Sentinel in particular?
Yeah, so the reason that I'm even here is because I was kind of like community member turned leading Exidio, just because I've been so involved and so passionate about the project for years. So I was involved in the community in 2017 when it was first starting, even though I wasn't one of the original founders of the project. But Sentinel is, like you said, it's a decentralized VPN network. So people are offering excess bandwidth, and with this architecture, there is no one company, there's no one entity that has access to all the servers and can log all your data. So if you're using, Nord has the ability, because they're either running cloud servers, they're running their own hosted servers, but they have all the exit nodes of all of the servers on their network, and they're liable and responsible for everything on their network, and they have the ability to track it all. And, we use a VPN because we're trying to look for better privacy and security online. And we're thinking, okay, if we use a virtual private network, then our internet traffic is obfuscated and we're safe and we're using a secure network. And so we're trusting our VPN company to be able to provide that for us. And unfortunately, instead of our internet service provider having access to all our metadata, we're passing the buck onto our VPN company, and they've been taking advantage of their users' trust. Nord itself actually was hacked in 2019, and it was proven that they were logging user data, and that they when the hack came out, it was proven that they had been collecting user data, and that even though they claim they're not logging data. And this is actually happening with a lot of VPN companies, and it's actually a lot dirtier industry than we like to believe. It's more like a oligopoly of an industry, because a lot of companies roll up to the same parent companies, and so you think you're using disparate products and that they're acting in good faith, but a lot of the companies are really roll up to the same parent company, and a lot of them are logging data. And oftentimes they'll say that they're having an audit by like an independent third party that proves they're not logging data, but even that, it's hard to prove. But Sentinel, as a peer-to-peer network, there is no one company that has the ability to access data. The only person that could have access to the metadata would be the exit node, but those are all individual nodes. So there's no one company that has access to all of the metadata. And then on top of that, because they are peer hosted nodes, and because they're disparate around the globe, there's additional benefits, because they're not identified as like IP addresses that are part of a VPN network, where a lot of IP addresses with centralized VPN companies will get blacklisted as a part of a VPN network, and then sites will still deny their access. But with Sentinel, it's a lot more robust because of the global and decentralized nature of the network. And then finally, one last thing, with the decentralized network and anyone being able to host a node, you can offer nodes on many open source VPN protocols. So you can offer nodes on WireGuard or SOX5 or IKEV2. So with that kind of capability of being agile for nodes, it makes it far more robust, and you're able to get over a lot of state actors or other firewalls that prevent people from getting access to content. So I'm pretty passionate about what we're doing, but it really is a completely different architecture while providing the same benefits.
Very cool. Looks like we're getting some questions. We'll definitely open it up for questions at the end, but I guess since these are very pertinent to kind of the discussion now, it looks like someone was asking about exit nodes and how does Sentinel handle the legal implications for users running exit nodes? Is that kind of left up to the individual nodes themselves, or what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. So exit nodes, if you're running a node, then that's your node, and you are the one that's in control and liable for that node. But there's been precedents been set, and actually we've started a DVPN alliance, and Mysterium is a part of it, and we're looking for other projects that are interested in truly running a decentralized network if they're looking for offering decentralized bandwidth, to join us and collaborate on this DVPN alliance. But in the DVPN alliance, we've actually put out a manifesto, and we've also put out best practices on what the implications are for running an exit node. So there has been legal precedent that's been set that if you're a part of a distributed network and you can show that you're part of a distributed network, then even if maybe, for example, nefarious traffic is routing through your IP address, the best thing is to comply with authorities, show them that you're a part of a distributed network and this is the content, and work with them, but you're not liable as a part of a distributed network as an exit node.
Got it. And so you guys are basically, someone's asking in the chat, a Tor-like protocol with a better incentivization method. Is that a fair comparison?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. So Tor, but not yet corrupted, and hopefully never corrupted, and also incentivized. And that's partly why we believe that it has a lot more staying power, because Tor actually has had a lot of state actors and third parties that want to have interest in what's happening across the network take over a lot of the nodes on the network. And with their large control of the amount of nodes, the Tor network doesn't provide the level of privacy and anonymity that you would expect from a network like that. But what happens is, let's just say, Brendan, that you're offering a node on the Tor network, and then you move from DC to somewhere else, and you uproot your life, and you have to move your hardware. The odds that you re-up your node back wherever you move are low, especially if there's no incentive to do it. So people that are offering bandwidth out of the goodness of their heart to the Tor network eventually either drop off, but with an incentivized network, it makes it far more sustainable. But yeah, it's a good way to put it, as an incentivized Tor network. And we say the Sentinel is all of us. It's anyone that's partaking in the network. So Peter and I work for Exidio, the software development company, but yeah, Sentinel is truly a peer-to-peer network.
Yeah, it's always about incentives, and it seems to me that it makes a lot more sense to incentivize people, especially people that are taking somewhat of a legal risk in running exit nodes, right? It seems like an awfully big risk to me to have a robust network if there's no incentivization for taking a huge risk. So definitely agree that you guys are using a model that makes a little more sense in that regard.
Yeah, and like I said, there's definitely anyone could tap on your shoulder, whether you're using a VPN or centralized, or you're just using your internet service provider for routing your traffic. But if you can prove that you're a part of a decentralized network, then you're not going to be held legally liable. But it's going to become more and more ubiquitous, and we're working on providing a lot more ease of access to being able to offer bandwidth to the network, as well as to be able to connect to the network through decentralized VPN applications.
Super cool. So we kind of gotten a little bit into the network structure in terms of what protocols it's like or what it's different from. So can you explain? We have Cosmos type validators on our network as well. But I know I'm fairly familiar with how Sentinel's set up and how their network works. Can you talk about the structure and kind of the dual node setup that you guys have between the VPN nodes and the validators, and what that structure kind of looks like in terms of how it functions?
Yeah, totally. So like it kind of comes to the question, like, where does the blockchain fit into this? And so the core benefit of the blockchain within the Sentinel bandwidth network is in offering it's in using it for an information storage. So that, like I said, Sentinel doesn't run the nodes. Everyone's running their own node. And so how do the front end applications connect to those that are open source? They ping the blockchain. And so everyone that's offering bandwidth to the network, each DVPN node, they post the details of their node, their IP address, their throughput, their latency, their consistent uptime. All of that information is posted to the blockchain. And then whatever front end application that's built connecting to the Sentinel network calls via API to the blockchain to show display the different details of all the nodes that are available on the network. And then you call that individual node to be able to connect securely to VPN. So for the security of that blockchain, we have the similar structure that you guys have at Secret as far as validators securing the blockchain. And then we also have it for payment gateways, because we're connected to Cosmos IBC. It provides a lot more access for different payment gateways and people to pay for VPN via crypto. So yeah, as long as the blockchain stays active and there's validators securing the blockchain, then the network itself stays live, and all the nodes that are offering bandwidth are accessible for any end user application. So the network itself is far more robust and resilient, because as long as the blockchain itself stays active with active validators, then the VPN applications stay active. Whereas if you are a centralized VPN company and all of your servers go down, then your offering for your users goes down. But for us, as long as the blockchain stays active and there's people validating the blockchain, then the nodes themselves are available for any decentralized VPN application that's connecting to the network.
Got it. So you're using the blockchain, the Cosmos tender-based chain, basically, to simplify it in really simple terms, almost like an address book where all these nodes are posting their details and connection points for the API, and that acts as like a single source of truth for the network state almost.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. It's as if we were using, like a Google Sheet, but it can't be corrupted. The strength of it.
Exactly.
Yep. So yeah, you got the architecture.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, and it's actually a question I'm not familiar with. Is there any sort of like attestation process that a node has to go through to offer bandwidth to the network? Is there any kind of proof they have to make to the network before being included in that address list that proves that they're not a malicious node or that they're not logging traffic or something like that? You guys might be muted if you're trying to answer. Yeah, I really stumped you on that one.
Dan, do you want me to take that one?
It's a tough question. It was more just curiosity, because the reason I asked that question is on Secret Network we're using trusted hardware to run our secret contracts, which hide and keeps the data encrypted in the smart contracts. But in order to sign up to be a node in the network, each node has to attest that they have the correct hardware and that they're essentially not a malicious node. So I was just curious if the nodes on Sentinel network have any type of attestation process or anything.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I'm definitely not, the tech guy on the team. But I could say, I guess, what I would say is to the what Dan was talking about between the validator node to begin with and the DVPN node, there is a key distinction between the two of those, which I just want to make clear that some people reach out to our team at Exidio and they want to either validate on Sentinel or offer DVPN node to the network of nodes. There's a key distinction between those two in different software requirements. To your question about if there is like an onboarding process for like the DVPN nodes, to my understanding, everything is end-to-end encrypted. I don't know if we have anything where it's like, we have requirements, or Sentinel has requirements that you need to have, XYZ capabilities and tech software to offer DVPN node to the network. We've had internal conversations about if we want to have like, say our flagship product right now is the Sentinel DVPN. It's on Android, it's on iOS, it's getting released on our desktop. We've had conversations about having a light version of it to test out, to make sure, like, say, Brendan, if you wanted to offer bandwidth to the network, you needed to go on this one application first to prove your uptime, to prove that you're actually providing good speed to the network before you go onto the main applications. So there's that sort of testing that we've thought about internally as a team. I don't know if Dan, you want to add anything else to that?
Sorry, I missed the very beginning of the question, but are we talking about testing for the network security?
Yeah, essentially, I was just curious and making an analogy to the validators that run on Secret Network and the process by which we have to attest that we're running certain hardware. I was just curious if the DVPN nodes that are offering bandwidth to the network, if they have any sort of process they have to go through to attest that they're using like a certain level of hardware, or that they're not malicious, that they're not logging traffic, or anything like that.
Yeah. So Peter did kind of hit it on the head then with
Yep.
the freemium model. So
Yep.
nodes will be offered ability to host bandwidth on the free model, and then prove themselves kind of in the testing ground before they are fully available on the monetized model.
Got it.
Yeah, and I compare that. I mean, internally, what I think of that is, I think of it's like the farm league in baseball. And then if you can actually prove yourself, then you're brought up to the big leagues. Like, you're playing for the Yankees, you're playing for the Red Sox, or whatever team you like.
I like that analogy. So are the nodes compensated according to their usage that they report to the network, or are they paid by users directly that are using that particular node?
Yeah, so it would be the second one. So nodes will be being paid based on the amount of bandwidth that's trafficked through their node. And so there's a what we're calling bandwidth signatures, a way that we can confirm the amount of bandwidth that's been transmitted via each node, and then that information is validated, and then they're paid in DVPN tokens for the bandwidth that's routed through their node. But end users can select either or. They can select to directly tie into an individual node and pay that node based on the amount of bandwidth they use, or they can pay for a monthly subscription with unlimited usage, just kind of more like the traditional payment subscription model. So it kind of depends on the end user how they want to pay for their VPN access. But yeah, it's kind of cool that you can just tie in directly to an end node and pay them directly.
That is cool. So you're a fellow Cosmos ecosystem project. And I know that Cent was originally issued as an ERC20 token. Being a project that's kind of had a transition from an Ethereum-based project to a Cosmos-based project as well, I'm curious, what was the decision that you guys had in that transition from an ERC20 token to this new DVPN token, and of course building using the Cosmos SDK and Tendermint chain?
Yeah, exactly. So when you say you guys, you're talking about Peter and I, and actually this predates us. Sentinel was one of the earlier projects building on the Cosmos SDK. I think that initially got connected to Cosmos in mid 2018. And some of the early developers on the network realized that for like streaming payments, for being able to compensate node hosts in real time for the bandwidth that they're offering, that Ethereum was going to have challenges with throughput. So I think that was an initial design feature. And then I think as some of the early architects of the network, including our CTO, Srinivas, were looking into what would be ultimate viable solutions and learning more about Cosmos, I think that the interoperability aspect of Cosmos was really appealing. So I think especially with interoperability, understanding that that'll be beneficial for payments and people paying in a myriad of currencies. I think that was kind of the design feature that initially attracted Sentinel to Cosmos. But considering that Sentinel was first, working in the Cosmos SDK in 2018, it took till 2021 for us to fully go live on mainnet on Cosmos. And so Peter and I have been kind of spearheading some of the development and ensuring kind of the overall organizational structure and management of getting across the finish line and getting on mainnet on Cosmos. And since then, we've upgraded the chain and implemented IBC. And now we're excited for some of the increased functionality coming to the ecosystem in Cosmos with IBC as a part of the network. But yeah, I think it was the original design features were based on kind of needs of a decentralized bandwidth sharing network for VPN for Sentinel. That was how the design feature was decided to come onto Cosmos. And for example, there's other projects that are trying to do decentralized VPN that have stayed on Ethereum. And I think it's halted some of their growth because they aren't able to develop their network with some of the limitations on Ethereum. So I think that was a good design choice early on.
Does that network start with an O?
It might. There's another one that starts with an M, and both of them have had significant struggles with their growth of their networks.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, we're obviously seeing ETH fees be a huge issue across all the ecosystem, in whether it be DeFi or any Web3 application kind of being built on top of Ethereum, and that's why we're seeing so many things. It seems like lately. Moving over to the Polygon network, to that layer 2, because it's hard to do an application on top of Ethereum with any type of throughput right now with those crazy fees. So definitely agree with your decision to build on top of Tendermint and to build in the Cosmos ecosystem. Obviously, as a fellow Cosmos ecosystem project, we'd love to see people paying for their DVPN services with Secret one day. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, we'd love that. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And especially there's huge benefits, opportunities here, because with Secret's smart contract capability, people are looking for true privacy and they don't want to have their payment be tracked on the blockchain. I think they should be able to pay for their access to VPN without having that tracked on the blockchain. So I think there's a huge opportunity there. And to your point, Brendan, it's not just about ETH fees on the network, but it's also about block time. For transaction confirmations taking 10 minutes or more on Ethereum, that can really also hinder your ability to execute. 6-second block time on Cosmos makes for far more accessible architecture. And as the nodes that are offering bandwidth on the network, those nodes are getting pinged on the blockchain. So, if a node goes down, you're getting that in almost real time on the Cosmos blockchain, but you would have significant issues with block confirmations on Ethereum.
Yeah, that's a good point. Carter, looks like you invited yourself up here. I know you had a question. Why don't you swing away?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first off, I want to say huge fan of Sentinel and what you guys are doing. DVPN as a full stack, there's obviously a lot of different moving components on the tech stack. So I'm curious, is there a particular spot you guys are focused on improvement, and what's kind of the biggest problem that Sentinel is trying to solve right now? Because I always find that problems are always the interesting part, right?
Yeah, totally. There's quite a few. So like I talked about bandwidth signatures, that's something that we're still iterating on. And even though we're on mainnet on Cosmos, we haven't switched over the vast majority of our DVPN nodes, our VPN nodes from Ethereum to Cosmos. And we're looking to do that at the end of this month. And so there's going to be a big release as we update our front end applications. There's a CLI, command line interface client, and then there's a desktop client that we're putting out. And with that, nodes will be able to more seamlessly transition to Tendermint-based nodes, and then implementing bandwidth signatures after that, and then implementing fiat payment gateways is something that we have on our roadmap for later this summer. Because we need the only way we're going to ever take on, Nord or Express or TunnelBear or Mulvad or any centralized VPN is if we match them at the user experience level. So the interface needs to be seamless, and just the process of connecting to a VPN needs to feel as if you're using a centralized one. So we need to implement fiat payment gateways, and then we also need to implement applications both on mobile and on desktop, and then even looking into applications that can natively be pulled into different other applications via API if you want to have a VPN natively in your video game or other applications. So those are some of the big challenges we're working on right now. And we are completely overhauling the desktop application, both of the Android and iOS applications, implementing fiat payment gateways. And then there's a few other big things we have in store. So we're working on a hardware device that'll be a kind of seamless plug and play router, similar to kind of what Helium is doing with their Helium hotspots, but Helium's focuses more on IoT devices, and the Sentinel DVPN router will be a router where you can seamlessly kind of plug and play, offer your bandwidth to the network and generate passive income for doing so, as well as throw off a Wi-Fi signal that's end-to-end encrypted, so a VPN Wi-Fi signal. So there's still a ton on the roadmap for this year, and everyone's really been busy and hard at work, and we're actually scaling the team right now, and we're going through a lot of interviews and hiring, and we're getting up all the right corporate structures. We've been going through some of those processes, and most of that's all done, but there's a ton on our plate, and Peter and I have been super busy. But I think problems are more things that we look at as challenges and opportunities than they are obstacles, because Sentinel's been around since 2017, similar to Secret, and we've all had our challenges, and our networks have had their ups and downs, and that resiliency only makes me, and that kind of Lindy effect only makes me more confident in our success down the road.
Very cool. I like the fact that you guys are doing a hardware solution, kind of like a Helium miner, and I hope there's the same demand for the Sentinel DVPN nodes as there is for the Helium miners right now.
No, there won't be. You got to put another 0 on the demand for Sentinel. We'll 10x it.
Yeah, there you go. So I won't ask too many more questions, and we can open it up for questions from the community after this. But I did notice the other day that you guys announced an ambassador program, and I'm constantly seeing on Twitter the Blue Friend Gang and this meme culture that has kind of evolved from the Sentinel community. And being a project ourselves, Secret Network, that takes pride in our very engaged community of secret agents, I was wondering if you could maybe just talk a little bit about your community, what the Blue Friend Gang is, how this meme culture arose, and talk about the Sentinel Ambassador program a bit.
This is really exciting. The Sentinel Ambassador Program. We're not called like the secret agents or nothing cool like that. But I think what really excites me outside of the tech that we're building is the community, right? I think there's maybe like 10 different Telegram channels in different languages across the world. I wouldn't say really promoting Sentinel, but just sharing what Sentinel is, what we're trying to do. So I think that's really exciting to have that. When I joined back in August and September, I was like, wow, this is amazing. You guys, Dan, you have these many downloads and you have, this many people in all these chats in different languages. So yeah, what Sentinel wants to do is continue to grow that and to really be a global brand. So this ambassador program was launched. I think it was launched yesterday or 2 days ago. Anybody who wants to go out and spread the word of Sentinel and what we're building and what Exidio is building in their community. I've chatted with people in the UK and China and Singapore and India, really all over the world. So there's so many people that, even I think it was in Vietnam. I guess in Vietnam you don't have access to, Medium articles and Medium blogs, but with the DVPN that we've been building, they can actually go in and, and access that kind of information, which I think is huge. But yeah, the ambassador program, I think this is an awesome program where, if people want to get involved, they have a network of people, or even if it's, college students that are, looking to make a little side hustle. Because I think everything is, you can get, paid and compensated for any of the work that you put towards the project. But yeah, it's a brand new program. I think it launched yesterday or maybe 2 days ago. I'm looking forward to, hopefully I'll get pulled into some of those meetings to meet some of these people. I've heard that there has been maybe over 20 people that have applied so far. Love to get to know those people. And but I think it's great for the project, and which is also great for Exidio, our team. Dan, do you want to add anything about the program?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Yasser?
أجرين السلام يا رجال.
Oh, nice to meet you.
شحالك؟ How
Yeah,
are
I
you?
figured we can bring some community members up if they have questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name is Yasser.
How's it going?
يلا.
Yeah, I was wondering, have you had a chance to follow the
Uh,
chat so far?
I love you. I love you.
I love Dan too.
Aw.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the love. I'm never gonna turn love down.
Hey, that's great.
Hey, she's just a member of the Blue Friend Gang. That's what it is. Just
Let's
spreading the
see if,
DPN love.
see if anyone else wants to come up. Like we got Pogger Raccoon up here next.
Yo, hello?
What's going
Hey,
on?
Pogger.
Yo, okay, I'll keep it real with y'all. I joined this from the public stage thing. I got no clue what's going on.
Welcome. So we just had a nice chat with Sentinel Network here about their decentralized VPN, and we're taking community questions now, and there'll be a recording after if you're interested in kind of hearing about Sentinel and what Dan and their crew are doing over there.
This is the kind of awesome. This makes me think of like we're at a concert and we're up on stage performing, and we just had a few of the audience members. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to bum rush the stage," and I can respect the hustle. I did the same thing on a Sonny Gold show at like one of those like transformational festivals. It was pretty awesome. All of a sudden, there's just a whole bunch of us having a party on stage.
All right, so I do have a question though. So
Okay, cool.
I'm 14 years old, and what's it
You have a
called?
very deep voice for 14-year-old.
The biggest mistake of my life was downloading League of Legends a little bit over a year ago. What is your opinion on the game?
I'll admit it. I'm not a huge gamer. I know that that's going to basically shoot me down, and any street cred I once
Aw,
had is all
come
gone.
on.
Yeah.
But League of
Um,
Legends.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is my gaming experience. I was like an OG, and I was legit at video games between like 1988 and like
I see.
1993. I am the
Right.
furthest I got with video games was Super Nintendo, but I will mess someone up on NBA Jam. And
We're aging ourselves here now.
What's it called? Would you
um,
count
I-
having 2,000 hours on League of Legends an addiction?
no, I would say that's a start. Remember, it's 10,000 hours before you build any true skill. So you're
That's
about
true.
20% of the way there.
All right.
You've almost made it.
But you're still 17, right? You got to do it before you're 18. So you got
I'm
to
a
start
fifth
putting in
of the way. Let's go, dude. I'm on my way to
Yeah,
hit the
you gotta
highest rank.
12 to 15-hour days.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Cheers,
Thanks,
man.
Tyler. All right, let's see. Let's see. We got Juju is me up here in the audience. Hey, how's it going, Juju?
It's going good. Okay, I have a question.
All right. Shoot.
Okay, so would you count being on Snapchat for over 6 years a problem?
Peter's the younger one here. He can answer that.
On Snapchat? Oh, geez. I mean, I had Twitter when it first came out, but I just re-downloaded it because of the industry that I'm in now. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, Snapchat's. I think it's I don't want to say the hip thing to do because I'm gonna age myself again. No, I think it's awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
So is someone gonna come up now and ask about like
Hey,
Fortnite?
TikTok. TikTok's next, man.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
geez,
I
TikTok.
don't know.
I can't.
I don't know if
This
I
is.
I might have advertised. Did I advertise this to like a wider Discord community? Maybe I'm not sure.
Well, my pretty soon TikTok will have the Chinese DCEP natively in it, and so they can monitor your video at all times, and then all your payments all in one place.
Oh, that's great. Just what we need as two privacy-focused projects.
Yeah, and then they'll have GPS on you too, so it's all good. And then they have facial recognition.
Oh man, I'm just laughing at some of the comments in there. All right, well, let me turn the tables. Do you guys have any questions for us, the Secret Network community, Dan and Peter?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'm interested in is kind of like some of the next big steps on your guys' roadmap. I know you guys have a ton in store with the secret spot and the bridge, and now you guys are also working on work with NFTs. But like, what are some of the like kind of big visions for maybe the next 6 months out for Secret, and where does that kind of like land Secret and some of the like privacy tech stack, I guess?
Yeah, I can definitely take a stab at that. I actually see Reuven in the audience, one of the devs. I wasn't sure if he wanted to step up and talk about anything on the dev side from the
Reuven.
initial team. Reuven, you there? He's typing. It's late. It's late over there. They had a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick too, Reuven. I think I might have caught COVID actually, like right now, but that's beside the fact. Yeah, but
Brendan,
in
is there?
terms of
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask,
ahead,
is
go
there
ahead.
a chat somewhere? Because this is my first time in Discord.
Yeah, there's right above the secret stage, there's a meetings dash chat channel, so that's kind of where
Okay.
I'm seeing some of the comments there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, but so I mean, for Secret Network and those that are in the audience that are unfamiliar, I think I see a lot of familiar faces, but for anyone that's not familiar, Secret Network is essentially seeking to be a smart contract platform with private data in the smart contracts. So what Monero is to Bitcoin and what Monero does for transactions, Secret Network is seeking to do for smart contracts or Ethereum, and become a layer one that enables smart contracts where the data itself is encrypted and not visible to anyone in the outside world, including the nodes that are running those smart contracts. That's the basic, overview of what we're seeking to do as a network. And when you talk about, what does that mean for actual use cases, or what are some examples of applications that you can build with these secret contracts? I always like to give the analogy of like a Web3 Uber. We always talk about Web3 and the desire to cut out the middleman and make applications that are completely decentralized, that put all of the incentives in the hands of the users. But if you had like a decentralized Uber, for example, running on Ethereum or any other layer one chain for that matter, your entire ride history would be public information. So, you wouldn't necessarily want everyone out on the Uber app knowing your home address and where you go, and being able to link that to your bank account, to your Ethereum wallet. So there's tons of applications that can be built on Secret Network now that it's live. One of the verticals we've attacked thus far is private DeFi. A huge problem in the DeFi space is this front running problem where people are using decentralized exchanges, but the exchange transaction data is public and is broadcast to the miners, and therefore the miners are then or people out there are implementing bots that watch the blockchain for large transactions, and then they're front running these transactions by submitting a transaction ahead of them with a larger amount of gas to kind of jump the line, so to speak, right? So that's one.
Yeah, MEV.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying, yeah, minor retractable value. And so Secret's taking on this challenge by like basically is it that the order books themselves would be private? Kind of like I know on certain centralized exchanges you can put an order on the exchange, but the limit order doesn't show up in the books just because you can set it as like a non-viewable order. So like it doesn't show up in the order book depth, even though it's there. But is that what Secret Network would be providing then for like a DEX? Would be the orders are like limit orders are there, but no one knows them. So then it'd be harder for like front running.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how it would work. From a simple explanation is the order itself is encrypted in the secret contract. So the nodes that are processing those transactions and whatnot on the blockchain, no one's able to see the details of the order. So you can't front run something if you don't know what the details are. You don't know how much is being exchanged. You don't know that Dan is trying to buy 10 Ethereum worth of DVPN. You just know that Dan did something. Like basically the data that's shown on Secret Network, if you were to look at like a block explorer, you would just see Dan interacted with some smart contract. You wouldn't see the contents of the order. So there's nothing to take advantage of, essentially. That's one use case where we're currently exploring is this whole DeFi ecosystem and front running as a specific problem to attack. But I'd say, in terms of the next 6 months, what we're really excited about is secret NFTs. So there's all kinds of use cases that can be unlocked with private metadata in NFTs. You can have private sales of NFTs. You can have private auctions. You can have private ownership. So, an example of private ownership, it's a simple one, but and maybe a kind of cliche one, but is like a secret OnlyFans or something like that, or holding some sort of NFT that you may not want the entire world to know that you're holding that NFT, right?
Waifu.
What was that?
Waifus.
Waifu. I don't even know what that is. What is a
Oh,
waifu?
come on. It's a digital e-girl wife. I don't know, bro. You gotta go. You'll find out when you find out. I think I had someone that I was like co-managing a wallet with, and then all of a sudden I found out I had a digital waifu.
Wow, I think your wife's gonna be pretty upset about that one.
I mean, I need secret NFTs real hard right now, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So the private ownership is cool, but I think we really want to gear it to developers as well. They're a true target audience for this secret NFT thing. There's a lot of use cases around access control. Right now, all the musicians, for example, that are issuing NFTs on Ethereum and these other public chains. Say I'm an artist and I'm issuing a song as an NFT on Ethereum right now. The way that's done right now is just like an IPFS link or a link to the song that is put in the NFT, and then if you, Dan, buy that NFT, you're just given that link. But there's nothing stopping you from sharing that link with all of your friends. It brings me back to like the Napster days, right? or the days where you can just pirate music. We're just making the same mistake with NFTs.
Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
Secret Network, you could do something like, Dan, when you buy that NFT, when you buy that song, you're issued a viewing key that you hold in your wallet, that only you can view that or listen to that song or view that piece of art. So in that way we control the access to the piece of art,
Would it have
of
like
music or whatever
case?
it may be.
So like I would need to connect my wallet to that file or that whatever application it is, that Web3 app would be the only way to kind of display that file. So I might not be able to play it in like Spotify, but I would be able to play it in like a Web3 app that like plays like audio files.
I believe the way it would work, at least as like a first iteration, would be yes, you'd have to have that secret wallet, and it would have to be built natively. But obviously, like you mentioned, with the fiat-based payments for Sentinel and kind of in the evolution of Web3 and the decentralized space, obviously we'd like to eventually abstract a lot of that stuff out, right? So eventually it would just be like a protocol behind the scenes, like an HTTPS, offering security for Web3.
Yeah, I can just imagine Kanye West having like a huge mural of Kanye West that's like 50 feet by like 100 feet. And like only he can play his own mural of himself. And like he just shows off on his phone like how he logs into his like Web3 wallet and like has the only key to his own content, and then just like has a shit-eating grin as he smiles as he looks at himself.
If you have any Kanye contacts, feel free to put us in touch. I know we're talking to some NFT artists right now. That's kind of the next thing on our roadmap here is we're really gearing up to release a secret NFT marketplace, and we're talking to a lot of different artists, musicians, creators, trying to see like what their needs are and how we can best meet those needs and kind of show off this unique functionality we have in the secret NFT space.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'll definitely connect you with my buddy if you're already not connected, Franklin Fitch. He's nice super deep in that world.
That'd be awesome. Actually, I do follow Franklin. I think he might be a good person to have some conversations with.
Yeah, man. Happy to make that.
Cool. Well, it's almost been an hour here. I think we can wrap it up. I really appreciate you guys coming by and filling the secret network community in on Sentinel Network. Like I said, I did record this, so hopefully I'll be able to put this on a platform later on where the Sentinel community and secret network community that weren't able to join can listen later on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I just have one question. If I was Kanye West and I have been spending 4,000 hours watching videos of Kanye West, is that too many hours of Kanye West watching videos of Kanye West? I'm 18 years old.
I think
awesome.
if I were Kanye West, there would be no amount of hours that is too much Kanye West.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a few people raising their hands, but we might get more questions about like Snapchat and such. So
I have a feeling, yeah.
No, but awesome. This is good, and thanks for hosting us and having us on here. It's always nice to chat with you, and then also the secret community and learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing. I think I Googled a few things that I shouldn't have Googled on this call, but no, this was awesome.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go Google this Wi-Fi thing or whatever Dan was talking about.
Waifus, bro. It's the future of finance.
Waifus, right.
It's the future of something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, thanks for coming by, guys. I got a call in a minute. We got to drop off here. Thanks again, and we'll do this again. We'll have a informal happy hour some night, something.
Awesome. Thanks, Brendan.
Cheers, Secret Network.
All right, take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening in the audience, guys.